Hey, everybody. How are
Yay!
you? We are live. Hello, hello,
Welcome
hello.
back.
Get it, Laura.
All right. Well, everybody, this is week 38 of the Fierce Felines with Meaty Mondays. Can you believe it? So we're going to go over some health and wellness information with you. It's going to be how when you're switching to carnivore, um, what it can do with freeing up time and what you can do with that time that you have now available to you, which if you're new to this, you are going to have lots of time on your hands to do something else. What about you, Robin?
Hi, everybody. This is Robin Heron, your carnivorous grandma here. I'm so glad to be back with you again this week and happy to be here. Happy birthday to me.
That is,
Yeah.
yes. Happy birthday.
Yes, wait a minute. Hi everybody. My name is G Brown. G Brown, the lifestyle changer. And
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
yay! Happy birthday! Oh gosh. Yes, yes, yes. Only because I had a few minutes. I had a few minutes. Everybody, yes, let her know happy birthday. So wait a minute, we're kicking it back. I don't think either one of us have the news we can use up. So hold
Oh,
on. I know. Let me find it. And go ahead, Laura. You can introduce it. We just got all
Sure.
excited.
So we want to go and do the news first.
yes.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
gonna
All
take
right.
the
So perfect. So what we're going to do now is we are going to play Rhonda, which is carnivore news you can use, and you can find her at Carnivore Leo. So as soon as she gets her up and playing, we will listen.
there you go. Share the screen. And one of these is, hold on, that's us,
Mhm. It's
girl.
worth waiting, I'm sure.
I
It
She
know.
does.
is.
Uh, share.
Thank you for the
And there
birthday
she is.
wishes.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We closing that. We're just gonna get all of her.
Hi, I'm Rhonda at Carnivore Leo, bringing you news you can use from the carnivore community. Today's topic is about a recent study highlighting the benefits of the carnivore diet on overall health. In 2020, a team of researchers at Harvard University conducted the first mainstream study on the carnivore diet. The study surveyed over 2,000 carnivore dieters, and the findings were published on November 2nd, 2021 in Current Developments in Nutrition. I will link the journal article in the show notes below. The fact that such a renowned institution took this radical diet seriously is a testament to its rapidly growing popularity and the experiences of influential adopters. Originally, 3,883 participants were recruited from carnivore diet communities on social media outlets, including Reddit, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Of the original respondents, 1,854 were excluded for various reasons, including age and duplication. The study included responses from the 2,029 remaining participants. The article explored the details of who was involved, what they ate, key findings with regard to effects on health, and the conclusions drawn of the Harvard Carnivore Study researchers. Remarkably, the Harvard study found overwhelmingly positive health outcomes. Participants reported improvements in overall health, hunger and food cravings, energy, mental clarity, focus, strength, endurance, sleep, memory, and chronic diseases. Significant improvements were noted in conditions like gastrointestinal issues, musculoskeletal problems, psychiatric symptoms, hypertension, urological and dermatological issues, and autoimmune conditions. Based on the data, researchers concluded that, quote, contrary to common expectations, adults consuming a carnivore diet experienced few adverse effects and instead reported health benefits and high satisfaction, end quote. In the context of a grain based society where meat is demonized and plant foods are highly praised as the key to health, the idea that eating an all meat diet is healthy, let alone possible, seems radical. However, numerous studies show that high fat, low carb, animal based diets are how our ancestors evolved, eating over nearly 2 million years. For these reasons, it's important that a reputable and notable institution like Harvard take the carnivore diet seriously. Though the outcomes of the Harvard carnivore study likely come as no surprise to carnivore dieters, the overwhelmingly positive responses should compel further studies that will corroborate these reports and elevate the carnivore diet further into mainstream consciousness. To access the full in-depth Harvard Carnivore Diet study, please select the link in the description box below. This has been news you can use from the carnivore community. Thank you for watching.
Yay! Oh, wait. Where my face at? There I am. Okay, my mic is on. All right. I know. Hi, everyone. Happy birthday, Robin. I just want to say that just like all day long. Go ahead.
I agree with what Julia says.
Wait, I agree. What I mean? Oh, Ron Jamaica. Okay, Julia, we say that. I am not kidding. You could just like dial in. That's why we keep having her to make the videos. We are in
Yes.
total agreement with you. Yes, her voice is very soothing. All right,
Yes,
who
it
got
is.
who's up first?
That would be me.
All
So,
right, man.
yeah, segment one that I'm going to do is the health and wellness part where I talk about I used to have all this extra time when I went carnivore that I was able to make these Afghans for my patients about every 2 weeks. Well, now it's about every 4 to 6 weeks that I have because of making all my products and getting stuff out and working with people. And another nurse went down where I work, so I'll probably be doing 70 hours a week now. So, yes, yes, at 53, but I can do it. I got the fat, got the ribeye fat. I will do it. So,
Well, let's put
um,
you
th-
right there. Talk to us. Go ahead.
things, yeah, things that I do with the extra time, and this is no matter what size, how depleted of you working out, how much muscle loss you've had. There are certain injuries, but any exercise that you can just move, and that whether that's just moving your arms repetitively, there's so many apps out there that you can look at, you can find, and and do that. So some of the things that I do when I first started out was it was just walking, and it was a slow walk. Then I built myself up to where I could do running, and I was doing long distance running. Now I do sprinting. I do like to do long distance running, but I think it's hard on the body, especially a female body. So I don't do that anymore. Lifting weights, yoga, just pretty much like I said, anything that you can do where you're either moving arms, legs, or both is going to be a good thing to do with your extra time. Another thing that I really started doing is the meditation and mindfulness. So, practicing mindfulness and meditation or other stress reducing activities every day is something you can start, and it just takes a few minutes a day. So, even if it's just sitting quietly for 5 minutes without the lights on, when you first wake up, if it's going out and grounding in the grass, wet pavement, you can do it on wet pavement if you want to. It helps discharge our electrons. Hugging a tree, putting your hands on a tree, any of that does help. Finding an activity that is calming for you, such as reading, crocheting, or talking with friends, is something else that's very good to do. When it comes to sleep, ensure that you're getting enough sleep and establish a good sleep routine. Try to shut down all devices such as TVs, phones, laptops, computers an hour before bed. This will help reset your circadian rhythm. If you wake up early, get up and just go for a walk or read. This may mean that your body has had enough sleep or that you're out of cycle, but you need to relax, kind of get yourself calm and then try to go back to sleep. Um, and one thing I'm going to say that I know a lot of people out there are going to come at me for, it's just something I've been looking up lately, is that the electromagnetic that you get off of like your Apple watches and your things like that. Um, I think there's some pretty good evidence out there showing that that can mess with your circadian rhythm as well. So I know it tells you like how many steps you're doing and stuff like that, but I think maybe taking it off an hour before bed, going to bed, and then getting up if you want to put it back on, try that, see if that doesn't help.
Well, how we gonna monitor our sleep, Laura?
Right.
Because I
Because you,
think I
because you,
had to.
because you don't, probably the same way that people did 100 years ago. You get up and you're like, I think I
Yeah.
slept pretty good. I'm comfortable. Uh, I'm not tired. I'm not. So
So what
just
about
look it up.
the rings?
If it has electromagnetic in it, it's saying that it is doing that charging. So that's what I would look for.
What about magnetic bracelets?
I don't think the magnetic bracelets, unless it has a battery in it that
Okay,
has
so
been
things with the
charged.
battery.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
sleep with a
Yeah. Same.
grounding mat on my bed, so I stay
Yeah.
grounded throughout the night.
Right. Right. So I don't know that that's given off electromagnetic. I just know that I've been kind of looking at that because I have somebody I'm working with who has had a lot of trouble with the sleep and had done all the other hygiene things. And that's something that he has started. And within 2 days, he was like, I slept like a baby. And I'm like, maybe it has something to
Interesting.
do it. Maybe it's psychosomatic, but it'd be worth trying for a few days and
Yeah.
see if that makes any difference. Because I mean, we never used to have those things before, and the Indians wasn't running around worrying about if they did their 8,000 steps. So I know we're used to
Mm.
them, but I think it's
No,
okay
they
to not
don't.
have them.
I'm actually I'm going to do a little, hey B, I'm going to do a little observing me this week. I'm gonna, because normally I do, I'm like, oh, so I can at least see, deep sleep, and I'm gonna
Right.
take it off because actually our bed like let you know how long you've been laying in it and all this other stuff. I don't like looking at it because sometimes I lay in the bed and it counts against me. I just want to lay here. Oh my God.
Right.
So I'm gonna take it off and see. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, that would be something because I
Yeah.
use mine all the time, and you guys know I have terrible sleep.
I
So,
know,
Yeah.
I know. So there you go,
something to
Robin.
think
We're
Yeah.
about.
going to
It's something to at least try and see
Mhm.
if that makes any difference. I'm going to work with this gentleman again in 2 weeks, and he's keeping like track of like how he feels when he gets up at, because he was like, I woke up at 5, and he said, which is actually 30 minutes earlier than he has his alarms set for on
Mhm.
his dresser. And he was like, and I was ready to go. And he said, I literally felt like I had all the energy I needed to have. And he says, I don't remember getting up 4 times to go to the bathroom because I was awake. He says, it's not that I wake up because I have to go to the bathroom. It's like I wake up and I'm laying there and I'm like, yeah. Well, there you
Mhm.
go, Frederick. Give it a try. Let's see how it works. Yeah.
Oh, Renee don't even want him in the bedroom. I don't know, Renee. You got to have
Oh,
some.
Some kind of smart devices. This is not carnivore
Dark.
after dark.
right.
Lord, after dark. Really back in, G.
So
All right, go
the
ahead.
other thing that I do is outdoor activities, especially when it's decent weather. We got storms kind of brewing. I saw your area has storms too, so in and out. But if it's decent out, you can go out for slow walks. They don't have to be anything crazy, just outside, get out in the sun. But if you like to go hiking and you can physically hike, you could always go hiking, fishing, camping, shooting sports, I put in there for me, and gardening. Get out in the sun for 20 to 30 minutes if you can, at least daily, if not up to 3 times a day. Walk in the park or just around your block if you can do this. If you can't yet, then start where you are and try to work your way up. And I always tell people they're stronger than they know. Just like when I first started and I was at 313 pounds, I literally couldn't go from my front door, I'm saying maybe 100 feet out to where our mailbox was without getting winded and out of breath. But I just kept making myself pushing to do it, got that done. And then it was down part of my block. And then it was the whole block. And then it was around the block. And I just kept working my way up. And now, you can always reach out to people in your community to work with you. Um, so that you can have somebody to help back you up if you need some encouragement. There's always those of us out there that are willing to give that to you. So, what about you, Robin?
Well, hey, everybody. So tonight I'm going to be talking about hormonal health. So, how the carnivore diet is impacting our hormones, or can impact our hormones. So we know that carnivore can impact hormones, and with being an all meat based diet, it definitely will impact your hormones. So tonight I'm going to talk about hormone balance, menstrual health, and the long-term benefits of maintaining hormonal health through a carnivore diet. So, so hormonal balance talks about the proper functioning of your hormones. Hormones are chemical messengers that regulate various physiological processes in the body. Some of the key hormones, and you probably have heard of these, are like insulin, cortisol, thyroid hormones, and sex hormones like estrogen and testosterone. So, carnivore has some special properties that, when in regards to hormones. So we know that carnivore is super nutrient dense, and it provides essential amino acids. What I always say is everything that a body needs, you can get it from meat. All your vitamins, minerals, and all your macronutrients that you need, you can get from a carnivore diet. So with protein being a primary component of the carnivore diet, protein is a crucial factor in synthesizing our hormones and enzymes. So, also because carnivore is a low carbohydrate or zero carbohydrate diet, as the case may be, it also leads to having a stable blood sugars and reducing your insulin spikes. So I wanted to just touch on insulin a little bit, and Laura, you can chime in if I'm saying anything incorrect, because Laura's the expert here, but I just did some research. So insulin does several things in the body. It regulates your blood sugar level. So I think we all know this. If you know anybody who has diabetes or anything like that, that is insulin dependent diabetic, it's because they need that insulin to moderate their glucose level. So the glucose, goes up, and the insulin basically facilitates the uptake of that glucose into the cells. So it puts you in fat storage mode, basically, is what it does. And then it also helps with metabolism of your macronutrients. So it aids in the metabolism of carbs, fats, and proteins. And it says here that it enhances the storage of fat in adipose tissue and reduces the breakdown of fat for energy. So if your insulin is high, your ketones will not be high. You will be burning. You will not be burning fat for fuel, because the insulin will enhance the storage of fat in your adipose tissue. So that's what insulin does.
That's
Um,
why type 1s are usually super skinny because they don't have that, and that's why they use up all their body fat. So if you see a type 1, most of the time they are just rail thin.
yeah, right. So
You're
I was
saying
like,
that on the carnivore diet
no,
or
no.
them?
So I'm just talking about insulin in general. What does insulin
Mhm.
do as a
Yeah.
hormone?
No,
So
no, I'm piggybacking off of what Robin said. Okay, so carnivore mommy, is your husband like tiny? Because that's a type 1 diabetic.
yeah.
And I know some, and they're not like, that's why I'm asking, are you saying if they're on the carnivore diet, they can be thin? Because on the standard American diet, oh, that's not what I'm witnessing.
If
Mm-hmm.
it's a
So it's,
type 1 diabetic, I in 21 years have never met an obese type 1 diabetic ever one time. Type 2, yes,
Uh-uh.
mhm.
No.
not
Yeah, this
type
makes
1.
sense what carnivore mommy is saying because basically the insulin
Right,
enhances the storage of fat. So
right.
when they start adding insulin, and I've seen
Yes.
this in my, I have a friend,
Yep,
actually a family member that is a type 1 diabetic, and she
yep.
lost a lot of weight before she got on insulin. Once she
That's how
got
they
on
usually
insulin, she
figure
started
out.
gaining weight, gaining a lot of
Yep,
weight on
yep.
insulin.
But that
Oh,
also tells you when you see them, like nobody that has type 1 diabetes in the beginning, I've never seen anybody skinny. So, and then if they're not being followed closely with the amount of insulin that they're using, then they will put on weight. But that to me is considered type 2 when they're doing that. Like Tony Hampton's wife, where she keeps her amount of insulin she needs to take in every day because she is doing ketovore. That's why she's able to still maintain. She's not scrawny and she's not obese.
Mhm.
no, I think the reason why I jumped in because I know a young lady that she is 180 something pounds and went on carnivore, and what happened when she went on carnivore is that the dependency of insulin dropped 80%. So that was one,
Yes.
right? But her weight did not, all other kind of things just seemed like it started happening between the detox and the oscillates and all this other stuff. And yeah, like the muffin top, all of that. No, she had all of that.
This is
But
interesting because I think this may be what you're talking about here, because she may be like insulin resistant now, you know?
mm,
Mhm. Yeah.
Mhm.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think that, and I'm not a physician and I'm not a doctor. I'm not any kind of medical person. But as with everything that we have had in our society, over consumption of insulin, is also a problem. Like too much insulin is also a problem,
Mm-hmm.
right? So,
Yes.
she may, I don't know. I really don't know. I just know that I see a lot of overweight, heavy people on
Yeah.
insulin.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So in addition to that, insulin does, it says here, it balances energy supply. It helps ensure a stable supply of energy by regulating the storage and release of glucose. As we just talked about, when your insulin is high, you're going to be storing that glucose. And then when your insulin is low, then you can burn fat for fuel. So it says it prevents hyperglycemia, which is high blood sugar, and hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar, by maintaining balanced blood glucose levels. So insulin I mean, it's not that it's bad in and of itself, it's there to do a job. And so when we just have too much of it is what the problem is. And so then we become insulin resistant. Our body doesn't want to let the insulin do its work.
Mm-hmm.
So, so by minimizing our carbohydrate intake, the carnivore diet helps to improve insulin sensitivity and promotes hormonal balance. So, and then I want to talk a little bit about menstrual health. Um, as we know, Menstrual health is crucial to women's health, women's reproductive health. And so hormonal imbalances, though, can lead to irregular periods, painful menstruation, and conditions such as PCOS, which is polycystic ovary syndrome. And the carnivore can have a profound impact on menstrual health. And I was thinking about Dr. Kiltz, who is a fertility specialist,
Mhm.
and he has this. He calls it the baby's diet, BBBENS diet, and basically a carnivore diet to promote fertility. And so, carnivore diet is anti-inflammatory. So chronic inflammation is linked to a bunch of issues with menstrual disorders. I mean, including PCOS and endometriosis. So chronic inflammation leads to so many issues in the body. So when we eliminate those inflammatory foods like, grains and sugars and ultra processed foods and seed oils, it helps to reduce the systemic inflammation that is throughout the body, and that can potentially alleviate menstrual symptoms. So, and then meat-based diets, carnivore diets are high in nutrients, high in animal, the animal products are providing, again, all the essential vitamins and minerals that that a body needs, and this also supports menstrual health. So, I want to tell everybody I know that has PCOS that they should be trying a carnivore diet. They should be trying a meat-based diet and getting rid of all of those. Do that as an elimination diet and see does it help. And even endometriosis, it may take longer though. I think endometriosis, I could think, and Laura, you can help me out here if you think differently, but I think endometriosis could take a little longer than 30 days to clear
It
up.
would take a long time. But it
Yeah,
would
but
get better. I
it
think it
will
would
get
start to
better.
get better fast, but I think it's going to be a long-term fix, just like insulin resistance takes a long time to really get that under wraps too.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, the thing of it is, a lot of people are being suggested to have hysterectomies. I was just talking to my daughter. Hopefully, I don't embarrass her. I don't think she's here, but if she is, I'm sorry. And she was telling me how the doctor was telling her, "Oh, your doctor has done all the things and you need to have a hysterectomy." And this is an option. And I'm going to just talk about Black women for a minute because it's always the option for Black women to have a hysterectomy.
Yep.
It's like the go-to thing is, and I know so many young women, even in my family that have had hysterectomies because that's the go-to thing is to just take everything out.
Yep.
And the problem is that the food is causing the problem. It's the food that's causing the problem. If you change your diet, you can change your life.
My
So,
daughter was 29
mm,
with endometriosis, and they gave her no options. It was
yep,
just automatically, this is what it is, and
that's
I
what it is.
I tried
Check
my
it out.
part, and yeah.
So anyway, my daughter's regular primary doctor came back and she said, "No, you're too young." She, she's not even 40, and she's like, "You're going to have to be on hormone replacement therapies for so long, and it increases your risk of cancer and other types of issues, heart disease, all kinds of things. The hormone replacement does." So she did not end up having it. I also was supposed to have a hysterectomy. Um, and I just kept putting it off until I went into menopause. I was like, I'm not having it. I just did not want to have that surgery, and take out, I just didn't want to have them take it out. I was like, I'll just, and then finally I went into menopause at the age of 57 years old, which is really old for going into menopause. But finally I arrived there and I ended up not
Mhm.
having a hysterectomy.
That's
Good
good.
for you. Yeah.
Yep.
Time's
So,
going.
carnivore diet is anti-inflammatory It can definitely reduce the menstrual pain. I've seen so many people and heard so many people talking about how in fact, Jen, Carrie's wife, was talking about how her Aunt Flo came and she was feeling so good. Like, that she didn't have cramps and stuff, which normally she was having a big struggle with it. So it's definitely a benefit for that.
That's something that I would like to know. Since you said that, I wonder if women that are on the carnivore diet, are your cycles not only more regular, but less painful? That's pretty, I didn't think to ask that one.
So I have
I'm
th- I have a story because it was absolutely insane. I was in menopause for a year before I tried the carnivore diet. And the same, like, I went on carnivore in February. In March, I had a full-on period like I was a teenager. I was like, "What the heck?" I called the doctor. I had to go in. I'm like, "This is not normal. Why am I having, a menstrual cycle after being a year in menopause?" And I think the carnivore diet, I think it was because I went on carnivore. And,
Mhm.
so I haven't had one since then, thank God. But, that was just like so crazy. And I was having this issue with pain, and that's why they wanted to have a hysterectomy, wanted me to have a hysterectomy because I was having so much pain, but I didn't have that problem that time. So I don't know, but I don't know if hey, thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Carnivore Mommy is saying, we have 5 women in our house. We have all kind of synced and none of us really PMS. We're all pretty
Good.
regular and much less cramps. I have none. Wouldn't even know AF was coming if I didn't track. Okay. Yeah. That's great.
Wow,
Boom.
that now, girl, that
Boom.
is like that's
That's
some really
amazing.
good
Very big
news.
deal.
That is a
That is.
big deal because people are suffering with their cycles. I mean,
Mhm.
suffering. And I see Renee's question, and yes, ma'am, I do. Sometimes you'll see my glasses fog up while I'm on these shows. It's because I'm having a hot flash. But I think hot flashes run in my family because my mom is 75 years old and she still has hot flashes.
They
Crazy.
come
Yeah.
and go on me.
Oh,
I don't.
nightmare.
Then
I had one night,
mhm.
and
Good
my
Lord.
mom had hers for over, I think, over 20 years because her last hot flash, she was like 75,
Yep.
late
My
Oh,
seven,
mom
like
is
this
almost
75.
76.
okay. Well, we just hoping the carnivore diet. Y'all making me feel like I'm having a hot flash now, and I don't think I'm having one just because y'all said 70. Talking about something 70. Oh my God. Oh Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, for the long-term benefits of the carnivore diet, um, just talking about all of the things that the carnivore diet heals, cures, puts into remission is absolutely incredible. Incredible.
Incredible.
Chronic disease is being reversed on a carnivore diet. And I was talking to Brian Nowicki, Wick Goes Carnivore, over the weekend, and he said that he was having AFib at
Hmm.
least a couple of times a week, every week. And since he started carnivore 2 years ago, he has not had one AFib episode.
Yep.
Type 2 diabetes. People are even doing carnivore diet on type 1. And as G just said, they're reducing their insulin. Cardiovascular disease, Dr. Ovadia, he's recommending a carnivore diet for people with heart disease. Like people who are like, no, I can't eat fat. No, I can't eat
Mhm.
salt. No, I can't eat red meat. I have to eat lean meat. X, Y, and Z are being cured and healed with a carnivore diet. So it supports insulin sensitivity and reduces inflammation. And most of our chronic diseases, if not all, maybe Laura will say all, of our
Pretty
chronic
much. Yes.
disease are coming from chronic inflammation. And so just
Yep.
the fact that it's reducing the inflammation is absolutely huge. It talks about mental health, things like bipolar disorder and schizophrenia and all of these mental health issues, Alzheimer's and dementia. And even, I mean, I want to put like ADD and ADHD in there.
You can.
And those things are being addressed
Mm-hmm.
with a carnivore diet. And then, of course, we talked about reproductive health. And so I always think about Dr. Kills and all the people. I wanted to have a baby with my husband. I was an older woman, and we got pregnant. We didn't have a viable pregnancy. But what if I had been on a carnivore diet? Probably have about 3, 4, 5 more kids.
Girl.
Yeah.
You see, carnivore mommy said after her thing, she ended up 5
5.
more kids, I think she said.
I know.
Yeah.
OMG.
Yeah, so, just wish I had found it earlier on, because of the amazing, amazing benefits. And carnivore will help with your hormones. Absolutely, 100%, it will help with hormonal issues. All right, G, you're up.
All right, so it's a couple of things I'm going to talk about: energy levels and recovery of muscle building. And I know it's like, what is she talking about? Y'all better watch out. I had a conversation with Frederick, and oh wait, let me fix over here. What is it? This one. Is it? Hold on, y'all. And there we are. And there we are. All right. So I had a conversation with Frederick the other day, and one of the things we were talking about was the fact that what's going to happen to me now. So for those that are on here with us, I just turned 60, and I'm thinking about the next, for me, it's the next at least 30, 40 years. I always say 50 though, because I really believe 50, but let's just go for the next 10. So in the next 10 years, I don't see myself uh, becoming a type 2 diabetic. I don't see myself having high blood pressure. It's almost like I'm checking off all of these things that the way that I'm eating and taking care of myself. I don't see any of these things in my future. So with that being said, what am I going to look like at 70? That's what I think about. I'm like, so on this, which led me to want to go and find a picture of me when I was 40, 50, and now 60. And then I'm going to pop another one in at 70, just for the sake of what's going to happen this next year. I say that because I'm documenting now all of these wonderful things that's happening to my body. I'm able to share them weekly, daily, in our message groups, in our memberships group. I'm able to just share that. What? Get up and do something, because you have time now. You are actually, if you're actively taking care of your health, eating the proper way, you now have time to do those projects that you want. Listen, we're sitting on the porch, and next thing I know, I go get a screwdriver and I unscrew all the little metal pieces off the garage door, lay them down, spray paint them, put them back, and then spray painted the mailbox. And then went and sat back down, like, okay, now what? That's how I'm looking at. Hold on, y'all. I saw that light beam on my head. The sun is coming. And so that's what I'm looking at. And it's like, listen, guys, you start writing those things out, which are leading me to my topic. So one of the things we're going to talk about is energy levels with the carnivore diet. All right. Fat as fuel. Baby, when I really understood fat as fuel. So that means when I raise that arm, because I have not had carbs, I haven't had pasta, bread, sugar, fruits, I've had none of that. So that means when I turn around and whatever it is I'm doing, fat is my fuel source. And I love when Robin said that, because I knew I was going to piggyback off of that, because our bodies can effectively tap into our stored fat. So now when you're washing dishes and you're bending over putting something in the dishwasher, honey, you burning thigh. It's like, don't you feel? That's how I look at it. When you sweeping the floor, honey, that's some back fat that you're using that has stored. Unlike carbs that cause blood sugar to spike and crash, fat provides a steady flow of fuel, potentially reducing. Okay, you don't get those afternoon slumps. You literally just have to tell your mind that's what you want to do, because the body has the energy, the body has the source to do it. Being on this carnivore lifestyle has truly improved gut health. Some people in the community experiencing better digestion and gut health due to the carnivore diet. We even have someone in this community that has his bag from eating all them fruits and vegetables, and now eating meat, he know that he would not have had to have that colon and stuff removed. And so, and then of course, the biggest thing, reduction of inflammation. So in the very beginning, I started at my heaviest, 260 plus. I never reached 300. When Laura said that, I was like, oh, she won on that one, because I didn't get up to
Yeah.
300. Y'all know where you go stand on the scale at the doctor's office, and it's like, Lord, please don't let this be over 200. Please, you will take 199. You just did not want to see a two. You just didn't want to see a two. So with that, if you start this, some of the first things that's going to happen, you'll get that weight reduction because inflammation, whew, just flowing out of your body. You're literally peeing it out. You're peeing out so much inflammation in your body. It's like, yes, yes. And you're like, oh, I'm tired of going to the bathroom. And then you start feeling a little weak because you're peeing out all those electrolytes. It's the same way that they tell you if the baby has diarrhea, or even you. Oh, you got to put the electrolytes back in. So then they have that stuff in the baby, Pedialyte. uh they have that. I don't know the ingredients and stuff like that in Pedialyte, but I'm close to positive it probably has some sugar in it. And
It
so
does.
so you'll have the Pedialyte because uh that is important from what you are peeing out, so to speak. All right. When it comes down to recovery and muscle building on a meat-based diet, uh one of the things that Frederick and I we talk about is giving the body rest. Once again, you're trying to figure out what works for you, right? I listen to the men in the carnivore community talk about going to the gym, and uh even Rhonda, carnivore Leo, when she was, I think it was the time. I don't know if it was when you, Robin, you and her did the sea lion challenge. I want to say it was close around that time when you guys did that about a year ago. One of the things she was talking about was the fact, oh my goodness, I went to the gym, or she did something and she
Yes.
didn't get sore. You remember what I'm
Correct.
talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, that
I
she
do.
didn't, yeah, she didn't get sore. So that's like the female version of it. Because normally I will hear men talk about the fact of there's no soreness. They can do multiple, it's not even reps, it's to failure, as Dr. While I'm looking at him, y'all, was Chafee would say.
I was
And
just ready to
also,
say that.
yeah, and
Mhm.
Frederick would say, you do it to failure. I ain't gonna kick my man off to the curb because he has tried to teach me a lot of these things, but honey, a little knowledge is dangerous. What do I mean by that? I mean that, uh-uh, because things that made sense to me, eat smaller amounts, right? And eat every 2 3 hours. This had nothing to do with a smaller stomach. Eat every 2 3 hours. You're gonna keep your metabolism going. It's like, yeah, that do make sense. Even if you're driving in a car, you got to put some fuel in it. You're There's so many people that's trying to take care of their bodies. You're trying to figure this thing out, right?
Mhm.
So in the muscle building, protein is our powerhouse. Meat is a fantastic source of high quality protein, essentials for muscle repair and growth. The carnivore diet naturally boosts protein intake, but don't forget the fat. Up there, when I said fat is fuel, it's goes against what we've been taught. I try to honestly eat my fat first. It's not even a savor the
Yeah.
moment. It is get this in, and because I'm trying to fuel my body first. And then if I have room left, I'll put the other things in. This is important. So when I really do get these big muscles and stuff, my recovery, I used to have severe back pain. If I do some workout in the yard or I do something that is a little strenuous for me, the next day, you don't understand. My back pain, I knew I would be out 2, 3 weeks.
Mm.
2, 3 weeks. Two was a good one. Three was about normal. To turn around that evening, it's like, oh, I can feel that. I must have lifted wrong because I'm trying to lift with my legs and stuff now. Lord have mercy. And I realized I did. By the next day, I get up and I've bounced back. This
I
is
have to.
really
I need
go
to
ahead.
chime in here, G,
Hmm.
because I'm experienced this yesterday. So I wanted to learn how to play pickleball
Yes.
for my birthday.
You wanted to learn how to
Pickleball.
what?
Pickleball.
Pickleball.
Oh
Anybody in here
Lord.
know what that is? It's
Yes,
like
I done
Yes.
seen about it, the pickleball. Go right
so
ahead.
I was like, I want to go out and play,
Uh-huh.
my birthday. And so we went to play pickleball, played pickleball for an hour, and I knew I was going to be just sore jacked up today because right afterwards I kind of felt stiff and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm going to be hurting tomorrow." I don't feel anything from that
Mm-mm.
exertion. So that is something that is like, what? It's got to be the carnivore diet because I haven't played like that in a long, long time, years. So
Wow.
it was a lot of fun. But yeah, so
That is
no
good.
soreness.
Yeah, that is good. That's what I'm saying. So I'm finding little things like that. So everyone on the show, of course, is beyond their year. I was the baby of the bunch, and so we're beyond a year. So now I'm really paying attention to my body even more, right? So protein breaks down into these amino acids, the building blocks of muscle. The carnivore diet provides a ready, available supply of these amino acids to fuel the muscle growth. Once again, you should be eating what fuels your body first. And I'll use my granddaughter, legacy number 2, um, and she's trying the carnivore diet for the summer. Very, very proud of her. And I kid you not. And then she was like, okay, what other meats and stuff can I eat? I'm ready to, to kind of switch this up. And I understand that. My question back is, from the foods that you're choosing, choose the ones that are going to fuel your body first. And then if you still want to eat the other stuff. So that's with anything. Put that what's going to make your body the best. And then later, if you want a piece of cheese behind it, whatever, then you start adding that towards the end of your meal. But you think, when you're putting this in, is this fuel or is this just some food for me to eat? And I think that's going to be a game changer for a lot of us. And then the last thing, listen, satiety. Meat will satiate you. Yeah, I can't. Oh, and then if you have some good fat with it, oh my goodness, I'm sitting here ready to lean back in the chair just at the thought of it. And so with that, it keeps you feeling fuller longer. And this, of course, if you're athletic, this helps with that. You guys, listen, I'm telling you, you got these teenage, I'm gonna say teenage boys. I'm from a time where they're the ones playing the football and all this other stuff. Now in the new era, people do what they want to do. But I'm just talking about these young ones. You guys, hot Cheetos, those little snacks and stuff after practice, that's not fueling those kids.
No.
None
Mm-mm.
whatsoever.
Horrible.
And then you want them out there again, and then you think because old boy is kind of big, he just fat and fluffy and could kill over at any moment because the right food was not put inside of them. Start having these conversations with your teenage boys, especially. Let me tell you things that you're going to find that's going to work in regards to them. Their bodies and stuff will develop even better than on the track that they are. Because I, even with Dr. Chafee, that's one of the things that we talked about that I feed over into my legacy number 3. I tell him that because you want to be taller, get you some rest and eat this beef. You want so then all of a sudden your rest is better. And then all of a sudden ADHD is changing and you're starting to focus and you're starting your brain fog is lifting up and it's like, wait a minute, I'm thinking differently now. It will happen like that for your kids, even if you try to go meat heavy for them. The exact same thing. When you're sitting around the table, the prayer needs to be, Lord, let us fuel our bodies before we feed it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
There you go. And so those are some of the things that are on my time that I was talking about. And hopefully some of that will hold on, help the people. What am I doing? Wait, y'all. I'm trying to get my screen back over. It's didn't flew out. There we go. Hey everybody. So I'm hoping, do we have any questions
I
or
didn't see any questions come through. I did star a few
of the
comments.
comments? All right,
Yeah.
go right ahead. Let's show
All right.
them.
So I hope it's Aid. Aid, if I'm saying your name wrong, please forgive me. Oh, sorry, I should start at the top one. Here it is. I cured my CVD with a clean carnivore diet. My left ventricular ejection fraction is now 66%, which is perfect. What is CVD, Laura?
Cardiovascular disease.
Aha. Okay, gotcha,
So
gotcha.
what he's talking about is if you think of ventricles, that's the two bottom portions of the heart. You have
Mhm.
atriums and you have ventricles. And so sometimes with left ventricle ejection fraction is like that. It can be because they've overstretched it and it'll be enlarged, like cardiomyopathy. Sometimes you'll see that where the wall's real thick. Um, we've seen quite a bit of that in the last few years on these really young people. But if you can heal that, which it's part of the body, so I believe eating carnivore will heal, allow your body to heal itself. You will see people's ejection fractions get better. I think Carrie Mann talked about this. He had AFib and he had congestive heart failure and he had decreased cardiac output. And I believe that that's all. I know the AFib was gone pretty
Mhm.
quickly and I think he said something about his ejection fraction too. So yeah, it all can be oh, he's got ASD.
Wait, I just think that it's wait a minute. I just think that go I want people to read cardio is your heart,
Mhm.
vascular disease, and it was repaired with a fatty meat diet.
Right.
Please see, he wrote down go back to it. Where
Okay,
is
let me
it?
see if I can
Yep.
get back to it.
If you can.
Hold on one
He ended
second.
up he just said a clean carnivore diet.
Okay,
Right.
that's the key, right? Clean
Right, that's what
carnivore?
was
Yep.
said. So
Mhm.
that says to me that whether it's the BBBE, whichever how many B's I'm supposed to say, BBB, bacon, beef, butter, and eggs, even if it was that version, because I to me that would be a clean. He didn't
Yeah.
say lion, right?
Yeah.
Um, but even with that, I need you to know it's 60%, which is perfect according to him, by eating fatty
Mhm.
meats. So,
Yep.
guys, I say it over and over and over and over. This is it. This is it.
This
And
is
then
what I
I love right
tell
here.
men. This is what I tell men that I work with too. So when they're talking about, hey, my pressure's doing this is doing this, I said, so if it's affecting the blood vessels of your heart, because you have to talk to men with their other brain, not this brain. And I always remind them, if you're having blood vessel issues here and sight, guess what else? And that's not always reversible with medications that they use. I think it's reversible with this way of eating. But I have to talk to them like that and be like, if you want the sergeant to work, you gotta fix those blood vessels. And the blood vessels there are very similar to the size of the ones in the heart. So if those are having trouble, so are those, so are the ones in the legs, things like that. So
And for me,
I do have that conversation.
Laura, that's one of the things that I truly, truly talk about. It's like, men, okay, guys, listen. And I'm keeping it, this ain't carnivore after dark, but just really, really hear me. You remember, I was not there. You remember what you were like in your late teens when you first start smelling up behind girls. You remember that. You remember you're waking up in the morning. What they like, make a tent in the bed, all kind of stuff. I, you remember those things. All of those. You can have all of that back. I know it's hard to believe, but you could be running around here like in your early 20s. You really, really can. It's just sometimes it's like, man, please, I don't want to put in that type of work. It is worth it. I'm telling you, because guess what? Tomorrow gonna come whether you want it to or not. That's number one. That's what I'm saying. I just turned 60. I can't wait to see what 70 look like, because autophagy and everything gonna be setting in. But y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. Oh my goodness, give me.
So I did put this up here. What Aid
Mhm,
said about the clean carnivore is no seed oils, no
mhm.
sugars, no carbs, no chemicals, no oxalates, only fatty animal products. For me, that's mostly fatty beef and lamb.
That would be me too. That would be me too. All right.
All right, thank you.
What's your
Very
next?
smart.
What's our next one? Uh,
So a couple
you.
of things other than Renee said that carnivore brought her O2 level from 85 to 87 to 95 to 97. That's pretty awesome.
Wonderful. Yeah.
And
Baby, because you need oxygen.
there's a question here. I
You.
want to make sure that we touched on this. This is all for Jesus carnivore. I'm all for Jesus too, lady or gentleman.
There you
Love it.
go.
I have been having oxalate dumping once a week and it feels awful. Headache, weakness, kidney pain, dry eyes, feel like there's glue. How much longer will I have them? Sometimes it
How
really
much
scares
stored
me.
fat do you have?
Well, and
Mm,
it depends what you ate for so many years that got stored in the fat that you're breaking down. You can help yourself by increasing the amount of water that you take in a day. I would recommend looking at the videos on the castor oil for the eyeballs. That will help you not have the sticky eyeballs. And I mean, really pretty the as clean as you can eat as possible will help you get through this quicker. Every time, if you keep trying to go off and add in certain things like sweeteners and stuff, there are a few people that can get by with the sweeteners, but most it really is going to lead to trouble. So as clean as you can possibly be, increase the water. Look at the castor for the eyeballs. You just want to make sure it's organic, hexane free.
And I know that like some people say add a little bit of oxalate back in to slow down the oxalate dumping. What do you think about that, Laura?
She already shook her head no.
Yeah,
Nope.
I agree. I don't think
That's
that
like
I would add
saying
it back
doing a
in.
little that's like doing a little line of cocaine instead of doing the whole little bottle. I just did half a line this time. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
Nope.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. So Carnivore Mommy is saying that it's Sally Norton that says that you may need to have a little oxalate. So I mean, if you're really suffering, I don't know if you would be willing to do that, but I have had oxalate
Cup of
dumping
coffee.
for a long time. And in various forms that I've had the oxalate
Yep.
dumping, and it's taking a long time to go away. I think because as G said, you have all of this stuff stored up in fat. I just think of
Yep.
these little insulin guys running around just stuffing things into your fat cells, whatever you got
Yep.
in there. There's stuff in all
And
that
just
stuff
think of all the seed oils that we have taken in, all of the fake food products that we have taken
Yeah.
in over the years, all of those things we can't naturally break down. Our body is only made to break down certain things, and that's all it was ever created to do. So when you throw in all of these other things and it's like, I don't have anything to break that down. I've got enzymes that break this down, but that's not this. And those, especially the seed oils, then those kinds of things are going to be pushed into the cell because insulin's like, here, I got a place for you. Come follow me and I'll unlock the door and let you in. And that's what insulin does. It is the key to the cell.
Okay, so I'm going to sum that up by saying I don't know what it's like, the pain level that you're in. So, with that being said, if you feel, because what we're doing is helping you figure out what works for you. Because, like, Laura is a lion, right? And Robin and I tried that and we don't want that.
No, I don't want it. I don't want it.
And so with that, we don't want it. So the reason why I said that, if a half a cup of tea, you somewhere need to try it. Laura gave her input. That makes sense to me. If you're trying to get off of like for instance, here's another one for you guys to know. For 3 years, I was on a high dose of Percocets. And so once I weaned myself off, did I need to, okay, this is like really, really, I did. It was like that second night, I popped it in half and I took it. And then the next night I was like, no, that's it. So I do understand. And the ladies on here understand as well.
Yes.
It's this for you. So the goal is for you to find what works for your body. Okay.
Yes.
And if a little bit of tea, a little bit of coffee, and then you realize, man, watch this here. You ever see that? Hey, Dr. Nelson, there's this cartoon caricature type thing, and there's a man, and he is they're digging in these tunnels, and then one guy finds like a diamond, and the other guy's like, oh, he didn't found a diamond, and he just been digging. If he just would have stayed his tail where he was, it was like thousands of diamonds, probably just 2 more clicks. But no, he gonna come out of his and then go over here, and it was only one diamond, and the one man found it. Stay in your lane, figure out what works for you, adopt that for yourself. Then you might turn around and do it. It's like, I should have just stayed where I was. I was probably at the peak where that was the moment that it just felt really, really bad. And I prolonged it. So the choice is yours. So that was my whole rant for that one. All right, y'all ready to wrap this up, or did I forget something?
No, I don't
Nope, I
think you
think you're
forgot
good.
All right. So what is going on? I know that Frederick and I were the end of the month, we're going to Orlando. For those that probably still have some tickets, we're going to the keto. It's August 1st through the 4th. These are your peeps.
Yeah.
I'm finally gonna hug Dr. Tony. Yes. And then let me see. Oh Lord. I'll say that off camera. I ain't gonna say that on camera. Y'all might.
Okay.
I'm done.
Get us kicked off again.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right. So for me, I am still in the midst of my July challenge. And with that, I am doing basically a BBB. No, I'm doing like a beef and sorry, I got confused there for a second. Not BBB&E. I did add eggs back in. I added pork back in. So I'm doing I was doing sort of like a sea lion, but with bacon. But now I've added pork back in and I've added eggs back in
So
because
you right back to where you were.
no, I'm not. Because the two things that I am doing that I was not doing before
Okay.
and are I'm doing 2 lean days a week
Mm-hmm.
and I'm doing a couple of OMADs every week. So, and it's working. So
Yeah.
Yay! Yay!
it's working.
That's
I've
good.
lost about almost 5 pounds in the month of July. Yes.
Good.
That's
Yes. Oh, you gonna look good on the cruise.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so my intent is to continue with that portion of it. I have not had any cheese or dairy
Very
uh,
good.
to speak of. So I think I'm doing pretty good,
Yes,
actually.
you are. Yes, you are. How's your hands and stuff? Because I see someone up in here, and uh I can't remember who it was that said they've been having some outbreaks on their hands. I don't know if you or I'll look while you all are talking.
Yeah, so they're getting better. I can say that once that cycle starts, it almost has to go through its whole thing before it clears up. But right now they're like drying and they're starting to clear up. So but they were very, very itchy for quite a while. And I did during the course of this month, I had some Burger King burger patties. And I did not realize what they put on the Burger King burger patties. After I ate that, it really kind of went on blast. It just flared it completely up. So Burger King burger patties do have canola oil in their seasoning mix. So yeah,
Hmm.
yep.
Oh, I think it was this one.
Yeah. Oh, talking about the oxalate dumping. Yep. Those skin
Mhm.
rashes
Yeah.
are no joke.
That's
But yeah, so the
mm,
eczema is really clearing up. It's getting a lot better. So I talk about that sometimes in my videos. I'm doing a daily video during the course of this July challenge. The videos that I'm doing are unedited. So I'm basically recording, and whatever I record, I am cutting some stuff out if it's way too long, but basically whatever I record, that's what I'm putting out. So unedited, totally raw. And so that's been fun. I mean, I've been able to get a video out most every single day during the course of this month. And even if it's late, it's the all the videos for every single day for this course of this month. And then this coming Saturday, G and I are doing an interview with Benjamin, who wrote a book, and his book is called "Why Are You Sick?" And so we're going to be interviewing him on Saturday morning. And then I have another
We met
interview
him at
at
Keto
Hack
Health.
Your Health.
Yeah,
Yep.
Hack Your Health.
Yep. He was a very interesting guy. I can't wait to meet him again. When I read his book, I was like, is this the same guy that we met?
So listen, no, let me tell you guys, because you might want to tune in to this one. We might
Yes,
need
we
the
should.
entire oh well, no, we weren't doing it live. I think we were
Yeah, we're going to do it
recording.
live.
Oh, you
We're going to
changed
do it
it.
live.
Oh
Yeah.
no, we didn't know what he was gonna say.
We're going to say some good stuff. Come and check him.
Okay, so we had agreed. We're y'all finding out right with me. We had agreed we were gonna record him just to make sure. Because listen, what I love. First of all, there was this. I love a quirk in somebody. You'll get me with that. But he was so excited. And I love the fact that Robin and I, his excitement made us just sit there and just listen to him, right? And
Yes.
then we looked at each other and thought about doing the interview. And what I loved was he made sure we were the first ones to ask him, and he wouldn't do an interview with anyone until he did this one with us. But then later, I was like, Robin, should we record or we should go live? And so I'm just now told that it's live this
Yes.
Saturday, and
Yeah.
y'all need to set y'all clock. So now I need to
9
go
o'clock
set
Eastern.
the stream up. Y'all need to click say notify
It's
because y'all
already there.
okay, y'all guess is just as good as mine. No, because I didn't set mine up because we were recording. But y'all
Yeah.
guess it would be just as good as ours of
I'll
what's
make
going.
sure you get the information.
This is
So
good.
that's
I like
gonna
to
be
see
a
it when
really
she's
good one.
surprised.
his book is good. And
Yes.
so I'm interested to see, and I think you guys are going to find him very interesting and entertaining.
Yes, he's coming another route. It's not
And then
strictly
also
about
on
the meat.
Saturday at 5:30, my regular 5:30 time, I'm going to be interviewing Proper Human Diet coach Alyssa from Dr. Barry's
Good.
PhD community. So looking forward to interviewing her and talking a little bit more about what it means to be a proper human diet health coach. Because you guys know I'm trying to become a health coach. That's my goal. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk
Yeah.
to her about that. So that's the plan for this week.
That's good.
Great.
What about you, Miss Laura, over there making all the oh, Laura, I need some
Yes.
deodorant. And I need you to drop that off like tomorrow, because the big one, because you know how I'm gonna pay you. Because I need it before I go, because I'm looking, and after that last episode, I can't go like with regular deodorant anymore.
Right.
And you want the peace scent?
As long as it don't smell like pee.
No, it's peace.
I know you said that.
It don't smell like pee. It smells like peace. It's very good. All
Okay.
right.
I
We'll get
think
that.
that's what I already have. So I mean, I'm good with
Okay.
that. I'm good with that. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
it's a
drop the
good one.
joker off, and you know,
Yeah.
I will how much is the big one?
I don't know. I don't remember. I'll have to look.
All right.
I should know. I used to have a printout of all of it for people at work because they're always like, "Can you bring this? Can you bring that?" So I
That
always
would
had
be
the
me.
prices and everything, but
Yes.
that's
But no,
okay. But anyway, so
I'm finna
this
send
week
you money right now.
I will be making more product. I'm going to be making some more body soap. I have shampoo. I'm waiting for my more rosemary. I didn't know I had used it all, or I misplaced it. I don't know. And I'm very OCD, so I must have just used it all. But anyway, I wanted to
Mhm.
make more rosemary shampoo bars, and I'm waiting for that to show up. I have some that have cured. I think my tinctures, 2 of my tinctures will be done this week, which that way I won't be out. And then I'm going to do a live video on parasites. I had somebody ask about parasites, and so I was like, yes, I love to talk about gross things like that and in the body and on the body and things. So I think it'll be enlightening. I think it'll be interesting. So
I
that's
want
what
to
I
mention
have that
about
I'm
that
doing for this
shampoo,
week.
Laura. If you
Okay.
guys have not tried Laura's shampoo bars, my hair has never been so clean. It is squeaky clean, like, and I just love it.
Yeah.
It foams up
Well,
really
thanks.
nice. It's fuzzy, and and then your hair just squeaky clean. It's very, very clean. So try those.
I am. I have to
Yes.
try that as well. I would have thought by now somebody had put the price down in the chat. It's like, gee, you don't have to keep looking. We're gonna go to her website and see.
I don't
That's all
remember.
right. It was one more thing. Let me see. I think that's about. I think that's it. Did I forget anything, guys? Oh, nope. Here it is.
Yep.
For those that missed it.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Yay! I just had to
Happy
do that
I
birthday.
again.
love that
Happy
so much.
birthday. Yes, happy birthday. Listen, everybody needs their moment to be celebrated. We only have X amount of days. I watched someone that say, you know what, every 100 years is new people on earth. And I'm so glad that during my 100 years, I got to be with you two ladies.
Yay, same, yay.
Yes, yes. And listen, to meet people, this for the community, you know what, to meet people that will actually enhance your life from the inside out, man, Welcome to the carnivore community. We will
Yes.
see you guys next week. But I'm gonna tell you right now, next week, I already know my part of I'm gonna have to record that. We getting ready to get this thing right. We turning my next big age is 70. And we are going to be fabulous. Until next week, guys. Until
Bye,
then,
everybody.
yay. He said 7 days.